Hello, oh wait no, sup you chuckle fucks, it's your boy Dark Raku here with What If Issei Became Like Madara Uchiha Part 5. Wait, is it Part 5? Wait. Yes, Part 5, I didn't fuck it up, thank goodness. So, I have less, yes, I just suck at sleeping, okay. So, not the point. Yesterday, I could have done this what if, but instead I started watching Bleach. Yes. I only got to 2 episodes and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm doing good. I passed the fuck out after a while, but not the point. Let me begin into the what if, let me shut the fuck up, and let me begin. So, we can begin into mostly Issei kind of like getting, well, out of the village of mostly the clay village. And of course, they're walking towards mostly a bunch of tree lines where it's not really near any other like village. This is where, so I question Issei and what is happening. Where are we going, Issei? Is this really where the leaf village is at? It looks like we're lost. Issei turns around and just looks at her. And of course his eyes are right now into the Sharingan. This is where Issei says, huh? Oh no, I wasn't taken to my village. You see here, I really don't want you to be anywhere near my village. Because I have plans. And I just don't want any of you to be near me. This is where, mostly all of them just question, but all of them gets on guard. Every single girl, even the other 3 enemies. Issei sighed, and this is where, he then kind of goes to like 6 hand seals, or mostly just like 6 hand seals, and this is where he then goes to one of them and says, Tiger Release Seal. This is where, this is where he says 6 heavily, 6 heavily seals. Heavily seal 1 restrain release. This is where, mostly, this shock of energy exploded from his body, which right now frightened almost everyone. This is where, Issei kind of just looks at them, then turns back around, and this is where he then goes to hand signs. Fire style. He says, Koton, fire style, annihilation great of destruction flames. This is where he sends a wave of just flames, but they're not just normal flames, they're just green flames from his mouth. He spits them out in an instant. This is where a wave of flames smashes into multiple trees in front of him, annihilating everything that was in front of him. Well, this thing, it's not called Koton, it's called Koton, Majestic Emerald Flames of Annihilation. That's what it's called. This is where, it destroys everything in front of him for about like a good 7 miles. Like 7 miles. This is where, all the girls and even everyone were just frightened of Issei's power. Issei turns around and says, now, it's time for, my other targets. Issei has such a sinister grin on his face. This is where, all of them right now frighten themselves. Some of them actually did pee themselves because they realized that this is not the same Issei from mostly back then. Issei seems to be a little bit more scarier and more, doesn't really care about people. This is where, Issei had a sinister grin while everyone gets scared in the sewer. Sona, she was trying to use her water magic, but since magic is not a thing in this world, she has to learn how to use chakra. Now, for Issei, it's a little bit different, but not the point. This is where, Issei grins, and this is where he started walking forward. This is where, mostly all of them tried to turn, mostly walk backwards, but this is where all of them were too frozen. This is where Sona tries to move her hand, but it was twitching a couple of times. This is where, Issei was getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And this is where, he was right in front of Sona. He was about 1 feet away from her, like a couple of feet away, a couple of inches away from her. This is where, Sona widened her eyes, and this is where, she then feels like mostly Issei has its fist kind of clenched, and it was about to swing straight towards Sona, and this is where Sona closes her eyes, and this is where Issei just pokes her in the freaking head. Think of it like Itachi kind of pokes always Sasuke in the head. Which he does that, he just kind of pokes her with 2 fingers in the head. This is where, Issei just kind of pokes her and says, bop. This is where, mostly Sona's confused, and this is where she opened her eyes in an instant, seeing Issei right now was just a kind of mostly trying to control laughter, but mostly can't because he's right now bursting in laughter, laughing at mostly everyone's kind of fear because he doesn't care. He is similar to that of Madara, but of course, when it comes to scaring the shit out of people, he just can't. Mostly, he can't really control himself not to laugh at their kind of fear faces. But yeah, this is where Issei kind of stops laughing, saying, "Wow, you people really do kind of get scared too easily." Well, whatever. This is where Issei goes back to hand signs and says, Releasement seal. Well, he says seal 1 releasement restrain. This is where he feels like his chakra was restrained back again. And this is where he says, I felt good to crack my neck for a while, but now I'm gonna have to restrain that again. This is where, well, he then looks and mostly back at the girls, and this is where Issei grins and saying, so, do you still want to follow me, or do you want to back out and kind of just run off and go away from me? This is where all of them are scared, but this is where 3 girls actually step up, and that was none other than the 3 enemies that mostly Issei fought against. And this is where, well, all 3 of them kind of has hearts in their eyes. This is where, well, Issei says, why are you giving me such a yandere look? Issei kind of said. This is where, well, those 3 tried to jump on Issei, which Issei just dodged, mostly just went to the side, and they all just fell on mostly Issei's left side because Issei went to the right side. Just dodge them pretty easily. This is where Issei then looks at the 7 girls, mostly Sona and the others. This is where, well, Issei's kind of looking at them with an amused kind of look to see if they were agree or disagree or whatever, go away, disappear, blah blah blah. This is where, well, Sona sighs and says, I'll go. This is where, well, Issei says, you will go with me even though you saw my destruction of power? This is where Sona sighs and says, I'll go because where do you think I'm going to be going? You clearly know that I'm from a different world. You know all of us are from a different world. I knew that you show your power, not even your full power, but a bit of your power to try to scare us. Mr. Issei even grins even further and saying, wow. Yet, even though you're supposed to be one of the greatest Oni-sons in what's it called, our school, you're still brilliant as ever and cute as ever. This is where Issei said that last part quite quietly, but still, Sona actually heard it, even though she's kind of, well, she's a devil and still in this world, but yeah. This is where Sona's face became a little tint of pink. This is where she then looked away. This is where Issei kind of just looked back up and says, well, other than that, we should be going then. Now, I should mention one thing. Issei is no longer a devil. So, mostly he's a human, back being a human. And of course, well, somewhat human. I will mention about that later, but he's no longer a devil. He's actually, like I mentioned, I think if you can still read the description about mostly what he is entirely, because I think I still have the bio in the community. But yeah, but mostly I'm gonna just mention he's a human for right now. But later on, I will mention later something else. Does it work? Well, Issei said, well, other than that, well, come and follow me then. We're gonna have to get out of here before mostly any of the other villages find out about my destruction attack. This is where, well, they kind of get confused, and this is where, well, Issei starts kind of running off, mostly jumping off like a ninja. This is where, well, all of them decide to follow him, but yeah. Now, we go into about like a couple hours later into the same kind of destruction, mostly of that forest. A couple of people manage to land down and right now look around. Now, this is where, well, they had a headband of mostly, a headband of mostly these like crosses going down. Well, not crosses going down, mostly that's like lines going down. And of course, it says hidden in the rain village. This is where, well, a couple of other, well, figures appear, but mostly they're from different parts of mostly the miles of mostly how long of this destruction forest happened. This is where some of them has mostly a symbol hidden in the leaf village. This is where another one has a symbol of mostly the cloud village. The symbol of the, what's it called? Not sand village, but sand village will not care. Neither was stone. Well, stone does care because we're actually confused and seeing these like just giant pathway of just destruction. They see some green flames, which are confused because they have never seen green flames ever. Now, there's also some other people that actually saw this destruction. Mostly a person with palish white skin and black long hair. Right now having goldenish slick eyes is looking into destruction and seeing how far it's mostly the attack. Whoever just made this attack is quite powerful, and the person looked at the lip saying, I can't wait to get this person into my, well, have a new vessel. Whoever this person is will be good vessel. But yeah, now of course where he then disappears into the shadows. But yeah, this is where, well, those ninjas that were there reported mostly seeing other like ninjas, but they were confused also. So of course they just reported back to their Kage and what happened. But yeah, now this is where, well, Issei gets back to the village, and of course Dead also just told them to hold on to him. which most of the girls that actually kind of had hearts in their eyes kind of just hugs him. And of course, Issei was very confused. But of course, some of the other girls, like Sona and the others, kind of just mostly Sona hold on to Issei's hand, even though she wasn't like trying to make any lovey-dovey or anything. But of course, her other friends hold on to it, her hand and blah blah blah. This is where, well, Issei right now made a hand sign with one of his hands that were free. This is where, well, he then says, Flying Thunder God, Flash. This is where, well, he made all of them disappear, even him. This is where, well, he teleported into mostly a spot near the outskirts of, well, mostly not outskirts, mostly in the outskirts of what they call the village hidden in a leaf. This is where, well, they're confused, but this is where, well, he says, this is called the hidden in a leaf village. Now, the reason why I had to use that technique was because I wasn't really supposed to go outside the village. They don't even know I'm a ninja, so don't say anything about my power or any of that, okay? This is where, well, they all nodded in an instant, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei said, other than that, then let's just go. This is where, well, Issei starts taking off his mostly like his Anbu, well, not Anbu clothing, mostly his clothing that is kind of like a ninja gear and other stuff, and kind of started unsealing it. This is where he basically took off most of all his clothes, except for his like dark pants underneath him. Mostly he just puts on a shirt and other things, like normal shirt and other stuff. This is where, well, the girls saw his, well, abs once again, and this is where all of them almost had a blood nose. Of course, this is where Sona really tried to contain herself from not having a blood nose and keep looking at Issei's abs. Unlike the other three girls who barely could contain and just keep looking at Issei with no shame or care, you just kind of saw how Issei just puts on the shirt. This is where Issei decided to put his hair into a kind of ponytail. Mostly instead of having it long and blowing out, he just kind of put it into a ponytail. And this is where Issei says, what are you all looking at? This is where, well, Aika was right now kind of having so much blood from her face just flowing down. This is where, well, she made a whole pool of blood underneath her. This is where, well, he says, what are you people just looking at? This is where, well, Moriyama and Catherine had the let me say that. The decency to just look away, even though their face were completely red. Even what's it called, Tabasa, Toma, and also what's it called, Momo, just looked away and completely shocked and embarrassed. This is where, well, Sona did also look away, but yeah. This is where, well, Aika, Estef, Kazaki, and also, wait, no, where should I go? Karumi kind of just had blood noses, and of course they had no shame in just looking at him, but yeah. This is where, well, we'll see Issei just looks confusedly, and this is where, well, Drake right now spells it out for him and says, you realize you changed right in front of him. You're a guy, they're a girl. Think about it, Issei. Issei said, oh, right, I forgot about that, Drake. Are you serious? Not gonna lie. You also do that in front of the fallen angels, and you realize that Rainer always takes a good glance at you when you're kind of changing shirts. You realize that, right? Oh, right. The only other two fallen angels, like Mito and even Caliwarner, are not shameless like Rainer is. Not gonna lie, you surrounded yourself with quite shameless girls, but some of them are not that shameless. So, how big of a harem are you gonna make, Issei? Issei looks at mostly Drake as mostly his palm with a confused look and says, what are you talking about? Harem? I'm not making a harem. Right now, I'm trying to just, well, get strong enough so I can, you know, go with my plan instead of going with Madara's. But yeah, I want my own plan to be a succeed. This is where, well, Drake says, you do remember when I told you about the whole dragon power attracts other people, right? It also attracts females. Even if you're not trying to build a harem, you probably build a fan base of yours. This is where, well, he just says, huh. So are you saying that, yeah, they're attracted to your power? The fact that you use that flame annihilation, emerald flame annihilation, yeah, they are attracted to you in an instant. Now, you see those 4 girls that are right now having blood nose and kind of staring at you into like your soul. Yeah? Well, they have no shame. They really don't care. If they could get you into public, private, or anything entirely, they will try to, you know what to do. Issei said, "Ish." They're like what's it called, both Yazuris, and also like Rainer. Shameless perverts that don't care about anything. Doesn't work well. He says they are kind of reminding me like me. Yep. Now, unlike the other girls like Mittel and Calwarner and those other girls, 7 girls, they're quite, or not 7, 6 girls, they're quite unshameless. So what will you try to surround yourself, Issei? Shameless girls or non-shameless girls? Does it work well? Issei said, I will get back to you in that. Oh, come on, Issei, you can just answer me. I will learn about your deepest desires later on if you don't tell me. I'm not gonna tell you shit, now go away. This is where Drake says, oh, come on, Issei, don't be mean. Don't be a prick. This is where, well, Issei managed to disconnect and this is where, well, Issei said, okay, he coughed into his like hand and said, okay, girls, we're going to be going towards my house. Now, I gotta go dispel a blood clone so I can actually get to my house. Okay? This is where, well, they kind of nodded, and this is where, well, Issei just tells them where to go and also the direction and other stuff, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei decides to disappear in an instant from their kind of view and kind of run off. Now, of course, he does have them, well, mostly they do have one of the mostly Flying Thunder God kind of symbols. Mostly Issei gives them a kind of like kunai just in case anything happens, but yeah. This is where they start walking around, but yeah. Also, they got a bit of money from mostly Issei, but yeah. And not the point. This is where, well, Issei is right now running straight towards mostly his house. Right now disappearing from rooftop to rooftop. And of course, this is where, well, he then sees what's it called, both Naruto and his blood clone right now talking. This is where, well, Issei appears right next to the blood clone in an instant without anyone even noticing. And this is where Issei stabs, well, doesn't stab the blood clone. He just puts his hand in the back of the head of the blood clone and says release. And this is where the blood clone right now turns into a puddle of blood. But right now, before the puddle of blood actually lands on the ground, it kind of got vacuumed in an instant. Thanks to Issei's one of his eyes transformed into the MS. And so, well, it then transformed back to the normal Sharingan and, well, normal Sharingan, and then back to his green stick eyes, and then back to his just emerald pupil eyes. This is where, well, Issei kind of just like was talking next to Naruto. Of course, he now knows what happened in the 4 days he's been gone. This is where, well, Naruto kind of looks at the Issei right next to him. This is where, so Naruto then kind of whispered darkly and says, so, you're back from your mission. I thought you said it won't take that long. Issei says, shut up, Naruto. It took me a little bit longer because a couple things. I'll tell you later. Just get to, what's it called? Let's just get towards a hill. This is where, well, mostly Naruto nodded and says, got it. This is where both of them disappears from view, and of course, no one actually paid attention to them because no one cared. But when people somewhat did try to pay attention to look back at mostly the demon child and mostly the other child, they were gone. Confused. But they didn't really care no more. This is where, well, we go into a hill. Issei explains what happened, and of course, where Naruto says, ah. So, did you use your dragon's power? Kinda. I had it to fight against a B-rank ninja. Since still all my power is sealed, just like how yours is sealed, I really had to use a bit of my dragon power to fight against it. Which I really hate it. I hate the fact that I have to use it. But, just like in your condition, I still gotta use it because I still don't want to release all my power. My own power. Because I'm still building it up so I can train by myself. It's a word. Well, Naruto nodded and says, that's good to know. Well, I heard from you saying that you brought a couple of people towards the village. Were there anyone that was interesting? No, just a bunch of girls that I don't really want to talk to. But they're kind of yandere and shameless. What do you mean shameless? I'll tell you about that later. Not what mostly Issei said. But for right now, let's just get towards my house, or mostly apartments. Doesn't work, well. We go into a couple days later, and of course, or not a couple days later, a couple of hours later, and this is where, well, mostly Issei and Naruto meet up at the apartment. But of course, uh, before they go inside to talk, this is where, a grayish haired man appear right now, having kind of silverish gray hair, and saying, "Hello there, Naruto and Issei. Before I let you go into the apartments, I should tell you that we are moving to a house." This is where, Issei kind of looks at him confused, and Naruto also does where, Kakashi grins and says, "Oh, do not worry about anything, Issei-kun. You're going to be fine." This is where, Issei said, "What do you mean? This apartment is going to be mine, but the house that I bought is going to be for you and your girls." Huh? What do you... This is where, Kakashi grins and says, "Just don't worry about that." This is where, we'll see, Kakashi says. Issei said, "Okay, where's the house?" This is where we go into mostly a time skip of going to Kakashi's new, mostly the Hatake house. The old Hatake house. This is where, Issei looks at it and it's quite big for a normal child to live there. Issei says, "How would I be able to pay this off?" This is where, mostly Kakashi explains that this is the old Hatake house, and he's using a bit of the the Hatake kind of money, and the fact that Issei's an Uchiha, he does get paid from the fact that mostly there's not many Uchihas. But yeah, this is where, Naruto says, "Sweet, you got a house." This is where, mostly Naruto just acting normal and saying, "Whoa, you got a house." This is where Kakashi says, "Yep." Or mostly he then says, "Yeah, what are you doing here, Naruto?" Or mostly yellow hair kid, he kind of questioned. This is where Naruto says, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I'll become the Hokage. I'll get a bigger house than this." This is where Naruto acted like the kind of goofy Naruto in original canon. So of course this is where, mostly Kakashi nodded and says, "Okay, so you can just tell Rainer and the others to kind of go to this house." This is where, mostly Issei nodded and says, "Yeah, also, there's other couple of girls that are gonna live with me, because, Kakashi says, yes, you can get other girls, blah, 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 blah. I don't care if they're your girlfriends or not." Issei looks at mostly Kakashi and says, "No, they're not my..." What are you talking about?" This is where, Issei kind of, like, becomes flustered for a little bit, and of course, it sort of feels like emotionless look half the time. This is where, or mostly just goofy kind of look half the time, similar to like Naruto. And this is where Kakashi chuckles and says, "Well, other than that, I'll be going. Don't go to my apartments, okay? For a couple of days." This is where, Issei and Naruto looks at him, sweat drops most of the time. This is where Kakashi disappears, but yeah. And this is where Kakashi leaves a note saying that also all the stuff will be inside the house. Mostly all that, mostly Issei stuff. But yeah, and also Rainer's and the others. This is where Issei sweat drops and says, "Fuck it. I gotta get to the house because I also gotta talk to someone." This is where, mostly Issei disappears, and of course Naruto just watches up and says, "Damn it, Karama, what do I do?" This is where, Karama says, "Oh, that's quite easy. We're going to have to train, because the kid is stronger than us. He's still hiding a lot of power. So, let's train Naruto." Fine. This is where, Naruto disappears, but yeah, in a flash step. Mostly not a flash step, it's a body flicker, but yeah. We go into Issei get into the house and seeing the other girls like Estef, Karumi, Sona, Rainer, and the others kind of just talking confusedly on why there's more girls. Issei said, "Okay, so change of plans." This is where Issei said that there's a different house and mostly Kakashi bought it and blah blah blah, not to go for there for 2 days. This is where Rainer kind of said it out loud, saying, "So you're saying that your father is kind of having fun with that purplish hair girl again, like fucking her or something." This is where, Issei looks at her, deadpans, and even every other girl looks at her like, what? This is where Calawerner smacks the hell out of Rainer and says, "Idiot, don't say that out loud. You realize you're still a 12-year-old. This is where Rainer says, "Ow, fuck you, bitch." This is where, mostly everyone is just kind of deadpanning for that. But of course, the where, Issei says, "But yeah, the house is kind of owned by the Hatake, but yeah. Rainer, you cannot do anything to me, okay? We're still we're still not 7, we're still children. So no." This is where Rainer said, "I wasn't even gonna say anything. What the hell?" This is where, Mito says, "It's because he knows that you have your mind always in the gutter." This is where, Rainer glares at Mito, and Mito just kind of giggles at her, but yeah. Of course, we go into the house. Now, of course, where Issei puts seals around the house, just so no one can hear the conversation, but yeah. Issei explains about Rainer, Mito, and Kaloriner. This is where, he also explain about Sona and her Parage, or somewhat Parage, the other girls, and of course the other 3 girls. But yeah, this is where Sona was shocked to believe that these are the fallen angels that mostly Rias killed, and they're here. So of course she's confused. She heard from Issei that he got hit by Truckun and got teleported here. Thus 3 fallen angels got killed, and yet mostly their other partner like Donazik wasn't teleported. Is there a chance of randomness, or what the hell's happening? This is where Sona's thinking. This is where the other girls, mostly Esther, was just talking towards what's it called Kaloriner, and saying, is that really just fully dark blue hair? Also Tabasa was just talking to her, saying, really? Is that really like natural blue hair? This is where Kaloriner was talking to them, saying, are your hairs natural most of the time? This is where Esther nodded and says that's because of her ice bloodline that actually made her hair kind of like a very lightish blue. This is where Kaloriner just says that her hair was kind of natural blue like that ever since she was born as a fallen angel, but yeah, even in this world, she still kept it blue. This is where, Kaloriner, Mito was actually talking to Toma, and also talking to, mostly, Aika, but yeah. This is where, Toma and, not Toma. Mostly she was talking to, what's it called, Aika, and of course this is where both Mito and Aika were just talking. The other girls were talking by themselves and mostly just talking in general. This is where Issei and mostly Sona are the only ones that are actually calculating and wondering how the fuck they actually got teleported almost all here. Of course, they don't really have that many connections to each other. Issei has a connection with the fallen angel just because they were the ones who killed him, but it doesn't really have a connection with Kaloriner or even Mito, just from the fact that they have a connection with Rainer. Now this is where, Sona doesn't really have a connection with Issei other than just getting him in trouble in school and seeing him a couple times, and the fact that he was friends with Rias, and of course Rias was basically mostly the king of Issei, but Issei's no longer a devil, which makes her confused even more. She finds out that she still has her demonic powers and other things, but they're converted into chakra, so everything magical is converted into chakra. Everyone that's right now in this, mostly in this group, is converted into all chakra using. So of course, she's confused. Even the fallen angels did say that their wings were kind of hard to figure out, but at the same time, trying to use chakra instead of magic was difficult. But yeah, this is where, Issei didn't really care that much. It's pretty much he had quite low levels of magic when he was a devil and / a human in his other world, but in this world he has large amounts of chakra. So of course Sona's just confused. This is where, she then sighs, and of course is where, she looks at Issei right now having a calculating look and trying to figure out also. This is where Sona kind of questioned Issei if really he just got hit by Truckun. Issei kind of said, yeah, that's pretty much what happened, other than the fact that you met the same figure as me. And the other girls, I don't know what happened. The girls who are supposedly dead, Momo, Toma, and even Tabasa, and even Rainer, Kaloriner, and Mito, said that they never met anyone when they were dead. Unless they probably did, but they forgot. Now, Aika was called Catherine Moriyama for a different case. If they ever did meet him, or probably he was behind them, and they didn't even say anything, they probably just nodded or whatever question. This is where, mostly Sona does kind of get the bigger picture. Now, for Estef, Karumi, and also Kenzaki, those are the little problem. I don't know if they're from this world, our world, or a different world. If they're from a different world, then how many other people are going to be teleported to this world? This is where, Rainer nodded and says, not Rainer, mostly Sona says, that is true. I'm so freaking tired. This is where Sona kind of just said. This is where Issei said, I have never heard you kind of even cuss a little bit. Sona glares at Issei and says, really? You think just because I'm such a perfect person that I won't cuss anything? Issa says, you can cuss all you want, I don't care. It's just surprising to hear the most popular slash beautiful girl ever kind of cuss. You see where, well, Sona's face becomes red and says, shut up, I thought you said Rias was beautiful. No, I just think she's a slutty bitch half the time. And to where, well, Sona narrows her eyes, but then just kind of giggles a little bit and says, that is true. She is kind of slutty as hell most of the time. The way her body is, but yeah. This is where, well, she looks down and kind of sad a little bit. And this is where Issei says, you do realize you're still a child. Even in this version, you're a child or a 12-year-old. You don't know what you're gonna grow up to be. And now, you could get quite big, racks. This is where, well, Issei said, with kind of just saying, well, improvising. This is where, well, we'll see, Sona nodded. This is where she then looks up and says, so if I get, mostly my old body, or if I get a new body, would you still like me? This is where she said, like, in a very cute, kind of girlish, voice. Issei's face becomes a little pinkish red and kind of look away and say, well, I'm tired now. I'm going to my room. See y'all. Issei gets up and starts walking away, but yeah. This is where, well, Sona gets confused, but realized that Issei just ignored her question entirely. They started walking away, but yeah. Issei gets to his bedroom and decides to fall asleep. The next day happens, but of course, instead of waking up mostly alone, he realized that mostly all the girls are kind of next to him in his bedroom, and Sona is, well, holding into one arm and the others are kind of holding into the other arm. Well, not everyone in his room, mostly Rainer and even Sona are holding onto mostly each of his hands, or mostly arms. Issei is confused, but he managed to kind of use Flash Step to disappear, or not Flash Step, Body Flicker from their mostly grasp, but yeah. They weren't holding on too tight, but yeah. Issei gets downstairs to kind of eat something, but yeah. He knows that he needs to get to class, but whatever. Now, with this happening, mostly Issei has kind of figured out that he hasn't really figured out that much stuff, but he has gone on some missions by himself for over, well, we go into a time skip of mostly a couple of months later. Now, of course, it's close to being the test. Now, when the test actually is appearing in mostly a week later from mostly the day that we're gonna go on to, but yeah. Now, Issei has went on a couple missions, even with some of the other girls. They have went on a similar missions with him, or some missions together, but yeah. And also Naruto has went on, but yeah. Now, they all have gotten stronger over the past 6 months and being here. Of course, this is where, well, what's it called, Aika and the others has been learning how to use element chakra and element jutsus and other stuff they're good at, their high infinity elements and other stuff, but yeah. But other than that, I'm thinking of leaving it off here for part 5 because I'm kind of getting tired, probably from the fact that I have gotten lack of nothing but sleep, or less sleep than anything. But other than that, bye, see you, and yeah, bye.